Hi, thank you for using My Court Coach. I'm Jaylin, and I'm going to be your instructor as we talk about how and why we use state and county rules. So, in order for us to use the California Rules of Court, we would first need to log on to courts.ca.gov/rules. When you do that, it's going to prompt you straight to this page. Now, the first thing that we want to look at is whether these rules are current of January 1st of 2020. And it is. Sometimes these rules change throughout the year, so you want to always go back to this page to ensure that you are following the most up-to-date rules. Since we are in family law, we're going to click on Title 5, and it has all of the rules that we can use for family law cases. It also has the juvenile rules in here too, but that's not something that you need to worry about. So we don't have time to go through every single rule, but we will just go over some examples. So, how serious is it for us to use the California Rules of Court? There's a whole section on 5.14, this rule, that says sanctions for violations of rules of court in family law cases. So you know that this is necessary in any family law proceeding for you to follow the California Rules of Court. That just shows the importance of it. And it's self-explanatory, rules of court. Like, these are the rules that you must use in order for you to represent yourself in court adequately. And if you don't follow the California Rules of Court, then the California Rules of Court says, all right, well, we can go ahead and sanction you. What does sanctions mean? The Rules of Court defines it for us. So it says monetary fine or penalty ordered by the court. And then it also tells you who these sanctions can also be issued against. So it could be you, your attorney, some witness, or a law firm, or any individual that's essentially associated with the case. The court can order those sanctions. And so if you're on the receiving end of this, and another court has ordered some sort of sanctions, at the bottom here it says a court order awarding sanctions must be in writing and must recite in detail the conduct or circumstances justifying the order. So this is a great way if you're on the receiving end of this and the court has just sanctioned you for not following the California Rules of Court, and they didn't state it in writing, it wasn't cited in detail about what circumstances or conduct justified the order, then you need to cite this in court. And this, again, just goes to show the importance of the rules of court in order for you to prevail in your proceedings. So it tells you the notice and procedure if you wanted to file against somebody, the award, how do we go about asking for that. So it's a guideline. I would say that the Rules of Court is a guideline to assist you in conducting yourself in court. So you have, again, the sanctions, there's like filing fees, proof of service, even the formatting of the paperwork that needs to go to court is listed in there. If you wanted to present by using your voice in court versus handing in paperwork, you can ask for live testimony. There's all these different methods that you can utilize in your case in order for you to make sure that you're complying properly. So these rules are very important. So not only are there California rules, which are used statewide, but we also have local rules. So depending on which county you're in, you're going to want to look up local rules. I'll go over a few here. So let's say we're looking at Sacramento. The local rules is the first thing that's going to come up. And here we are. Good things effective as of January 1st, 2020. So you know that it is the most current one, and we're in family law. And it's going to populate this entire 10 pages of the local rules of court. So this is also very important to go ahead and review that in accordance to the local rules. And so what's the difference between the rules of court and then the local rules? So the difference is that the local rules is specific to your county. So there's the sanctions issue that we just reviewed for the California rules of court. Maybe your local rules has a specific way as to how to file those sanctions, or what terminology or what forms are needed to be used in order for you to file for those sanctions. Or it could just be an additional relief requested when we talk about sanctions. And specifically, you could cite both of those in the local rules. It says this, and in the California rules of court, it says this, and therefore I need the court to issue some relief. Let's say you are in Los Angeles County, and you can go ahead and type in the Superior Court local rules. Again, first thing that comes up is the local rules of court. It's effective as of January 1st, 2020. And the family law rules is the next thing that we're going to go ahead and review. And look at that. They even have their own rules for sanctions. So you could review that as well. It takes you right to it. It tells you when the sanctions rules apply and how the sanctions rule apply. And even in reading in this particular sanctions rule, then there's also the Code of Civil Procedure, Section 575.2. So when you see a word like that, all you really need to do is go ahead and also Google it, Code of Civil Procedure 575.2. And we're going to go ahead and click on that, and you could read how and why this particular code section is relevant for the sanctions that's in County of Los Angeles. Why are they citing that rule? We could also go through, San Diego County local rules. We can click on that. We can go under family and family law rules, and just literally click on family law local rules, and they have essentially the same thing, their own rules as to how you should conduct yourself in court. And so you can click on it right here and get all of the 14 pages to see how you could abide by the court rules, or you can just look here. So it's very important that you follow the California rules of court as well as the local rules of court. Fortunately, those rules are never going to conflict. They're actually going to help you understand from the local perspective what needs to be done. And then the California rules of court is, again, something, statewide. So the local rules can, specify or make things a little bit more specific, add more guidance for you that's needed in your particular courthouse in order for you to hold yourself to the same standards that the court expects you, which is the standards of you essentially being an attorney representing yourself. Well, I hope that this was helpful. Thank you very much.